If you are a single parent, maybe you're a primary caregiver to someone, or a stay-at-home mom, a solo parent, so your spouse works away from home, maybe even out of state for long periods of time, then this video is for you. I want to share a story with you all that probably will give you a new perspective when it comes to life insurance. So when we think about, the things that we have to do as parents for our children day to day, what does that include? So for me, I'm a parent of two. I think about, getting them up in the morning, getting them dressed, brushing teeth, washing face, getting them dressed, making sure that they eat, and, you know, some other things that only you probably do as mom, right? And so that just becomes a part of your daily routine. And it's things that you don't even think about. But honestly, it probably could take a toll on you. You know, Parenthood in itself is just a mental load that a lot of people don't talk about. And so think if there's anyone who could take your place, and do your daily routine and the things that you do day to day if something happened to you, and what that would look like. So, if you're married, you might think that your spouse or your partner could chip in. Maybe you have family or even a village that can help you, that's available to you. But how often do you lean on those people? Do you really reach out when you really need help? Or do you wait until you're overloaded and now you're desperate at that point? And so, personally, I don't have a ton of people that I can lean on to help me outside of, my husband, of course, and some close relatives. But my village is pretty small. And so as I get older, I often think like, God forbid, who would step in? Who would step in and support my children the way that I do? And I want you to think of your list of people, like whoever came to mind for you. Think about that. Think about them. Hold them in your mind for a second. Now ask yourself, are they financially prepared to take your kids in and provide for them the way that you did? Right? Are they mentally prepared? As we talked about, parenthood is a mental load that many do not discuss. And then I think the biggest question is, are they physically prepared? That's one that we don't consider, because if you had your parents in mind, think about their age. Are they in position to step in and care for your kids until your child reaches adulthood? Are they physically in position today to do those things for maybe another decade, depending on the ages of your children, right? And so you definitely want to keep those things in mind. And you also want to consider, are they going to do the things that I did day to day? Now, we know everything isn't going to be the same, but majority, because the reality is you want to keep some level of normalcy for your children, especially at that time, especially if you are no longer here. You really want to keep things as normal as possible. And we know that, moms do more, right? And it could be the littlest of things that no one knows about. The way you tuck them in at night, that extra prayer you say over them once they're sleeping, the extra game time that you give them when no one's looking, that late night dessert you sneak them, the little things, right, that your child remembers, but no one else may be aware of the little things that you do. And so for those of you that don't know, I am a life insurance strategy consultant, and I evaluated insurance claims for a decade. And there is one claim in particular that I will never forget, and it is of a stay-at-home mom who had 6 children. Her children were the ages of 6 months to 12 years old. She was a Sunday school teacher. She homeschooled all 6 of her children. She was a wife, and she was under 40, no health issues, and died suddenly. I believe she was 34, if I remember correctly, which is my exact age at this moment. And so it was tough. It was very hard on her family because they were not prepared. And I don't mean in a financial sense. They had life insurance. Her husband was actually the policyholder, who was very well off as he was a pilot. So money was not a factor for them. But he was away a lot of the time, and it made her the primary caregiver of her children. She managed her household like a well-oiled machine. But she was gone now. And every time I spoke to her husband, that man cried his eyes out because he was not sure who would care for his children now. Who would care for them? Should they now go to a public school? Or would he be forced to find another homeschool for them, another homeschool, maybe a community that they could be a part of? He definitely considered quitting his job, which would mean ending his career that he had had for years and years before they were born, just to be fully present now, be that their sole parent and be fully present in their life, should he consider getting a new career. And he also wondered if he should hire outside help. He was so lost, and I felt so bad for him every time we spoke. It was really hard. And that's why it is not just about having life insurance. It's about having a plan, because this family did not have a plan. They didn't even know where to begin. And the reality is, this could be anyone's story. It really could be. And I hope, and my goal in providing these resources and sharing these stories with you, my hope is that you take advantage of all that I have to offer in the resources that I share with you. And so I would hate for that to be your story. And I want to share with you all a great resource that I have. It is a life insurance toolkit. It's completely free. And it really gives you the details of what every parent should know and the truth about life insurance. And my goal in providing these are to allow you to make more informed decisions with your life insurance and really put a plan in place. Put a plan in place today. Do it now. It is completely free. And so if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor and comment the word toolkit below, and I'll be sure to send you a link where you can gain instant access.